Hi, this is the third episode of the Building an SG series. I guess we'll just get straight into it. So first of all, putting on the tuner machines. The tuners that I bought didn't actually have any nuts or anything. Basically they just had a little sleeve thing that you put through the hole and then they're just screwed straight into the back. So I put the sleeve on and then put the tuners through and I used the pokey thing that we used for the humbuckers to poke holes as a guide, and then just screw the tuners on. So next we had to put the ground wire from the electrics to the tailpiece. I think I forgot to mention last episode that I didn't put the last stud in because I had to put this ground wire through. So I had to sand off the paint off the stud and then I trapped the ground wire against the wood and then put the stud in next to it, and then we just hammered in the stud the same way we did with the others, minus the grease obviously. So next up was the electrics. First we had to sand the back of the pot so that the solder can stick to it. Then we had to put the actual electrics into it and put the nuts on the other side. And I put the volume and tone knobs on, which ended up being a lot more difficult than it actually needed to be. Next we soldered everything up, first soldering the black hot wire to the lug and then soldering the ground wire to the pot itself. We did this for both the bridge and the neck pickup, and then soldered the ground wire from the tailpiece to the nearest pot. Then I put the cavity plate on. Putting on the truss rod cover, we used the pokey tool again to make a guide for me to just screw the truss rod cover straight onto the body. For the strap buttons we did basically the exact same thing, except we used the drill for the holes because the screws had to be a lot longer. So after everything was done, I decided to polish my frets. First I ran a line of tape down the side of the neck and then put all the tape for the frets over the top. And used a razor blade to cut off the extra tape that I didn't need. This way I could just pull the side tape and everything should come off together. So I used 3 different sanding pads for this. I used a 180 grit sanding pad, then a 500 grit, then a 1000 grit, and put the sanding pad with 2 fingers so that the fret ran in between my fingers so I could round the fret nicely. After this you can also use some metal polish, but it just basically makes it look nice. So next to string up the guitar, so I put it through the tailpiece, ran it up the fretboard, put it through the tuner, and then I left a nice gap so that I could loop the string around the top of the tuner, fold the rest of the string up, and then tune it up so that this creates kind of a locking tuner effect. So I like to start with the 2 E strings and then work my way in. So you're going to do the exact same thing with the high E as you did with the low E, except you're going to do it the opposite way. It doesn't make a lot of difference if you don't do it the opposite way. You just might get a bit of friction against the other tuning pegs. I've done it the wrong way around before and it's been absolutely fine. So now's about the time where I should be playing the guitar. But basically, the neck seems to be pointing up at a weird angle, which I can't really change at the minute. I'll just show you. So this is my F-phone SG here, that's how the action should be. And then this is the SG upwards. So yeah, as you can see from that, it's not supposed to sound like that. But as I said, I'm going to make a fourth video on fixing it, trying to take out the neck and make it actually play good. So yeah.